Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MXGP 2021, and it's time for Kegums of MXGP of Latvia. So here we are, starting on the left hand side of the grid, waiting for him to drop, and away we go, using the third person perspective here today in Latvia, as we now try and go around the outside of many riders. Do we get the Fox's whole shot? It's going to be very close, but Kegums takes over at the front, getting the Fox's whole shot, but Grant is still on his way to the front and is now leading the Grand Prix of Latvia. So can we get back into the top positions and stay like this until the end of the Grand Prix? So let's see what we can produce, let's see if we can keep ahead of the pack, and let's see if we can take victory in this very difficult Grand Prix. I do really like this track. I think it's awesome. It's just very difficult, and there's a few areas that catch me off guard sometimes. A few times you can go a little bit too close to the apex of a corner and be told you have effectively cut the corner, so you get launched back into oblivion by resetting the position. So hopefully we can avoid that, and hopefully we can just focus on the race ahead of us. Already getting a little bit of a lead, just not a massive one, but it's a little bit of a comfortable lead at the moment in time, so hopefully it can stay this way. Now, we've seen in the past videos for the MXGP 2021 career mode that the AI do get really strong towards the end of the Grand Prix and the races, so we just have to make sure that we're in the best possible position, so when they do decide to go absolutely mental and start going really quickly, we're in a good position and we can hold them back as long as we possibly can. And obstacle avoided, that's my first one of the race, and already a mistake in what it would have been a stellar first lap, so already a blemish on this particular race so far, but nonetheless we're still in the lead. We're going for the tighter apex here, trying to keep it in nice and smooth, because if you go to the wide part like I've just done there, you do lose a little bit of time on the jump, so I need to try and avoid that for the next couple of laps. And I've got to be honest, I'm still getting used to the third person perspective. I do personally prefer the helmet cam, but I know a few of you do like to play in third person when playing MXGP, so I do like to try and change things up, and I've completely messed that up. My second obstacle avoided there, that was actually totally my fault. The other one I felt like was a little bit harsh, but this one, yeah, no, I totally agree. I landed awkwardly, tried to reposition the motorcycle and sent myself over the barriers, or at least over the parts of the track you weren't supposed to be going. So now onto the left hand side, we'll try and hold on to Maxime Renault, of course one of the championship protagonists this season. Of course Maxime Renault will not stop to try and make things difficult for us, and he has done in a couple of races this season. It's me, oh my goodness, Ruben Fernandez. We both tried to get the same bit of dirt there as we landed, and unfortunately Ruben Fernandez came out much worse than I did. Fortunately for us we're okay, but Ruben Fernandez will be miffed from that one. That looked pretty rough to fall in that situation, so hopefully Ruben Fernandez will be okay, and I'm guessing he's back on his motorcycle very soon. So we're now onto the right hand side, another difficult part of the track, but if you can get it right you can save a lot of time and hopefully claw in a little bit of time against Maxime Renault. I'm still pushing with everything I've got in, but the AI, when it gets that clear space, it's just unbelievable. They are so good with the open track. We just have to try and stay with them when this eventually occurs, but unfortunately it doesn't look like I'm able to stick with him. He is just so much quicker than we are right now, and again, as mentioned, they get so much quicker towards the end of races and the end of Grand Prix. So once again, difficult situation, just we continue to push as much as possible, and hopefully we can try and claw back some time against Renault. But we keep it to the left hand side, avoiding that jump on the right there, because as I mentioned earlier, you do lose a lot of time, so it's doing a lot better now as we go on the right hand side, keeping it nice and tight. But someone is in pursuit of us here, someone in third position wants our second place, and I don't want to give it up, I'll tell you that for free. I do not want to give up this position. I think I'm holding on to second place with everything I've got, but it does, oh damn it, a little bit too much on the right analog stick, as well as applying acceleration, just forces the rear to spin round, and that is another bad moment for me in this one. Another difficult race for us. I cannot believe I've just made at least 3 mistakes in just as many laps, to be quite honest with you. In fact, even less laps. So really not what I wanted, I'll be honest with you. The MXGP of Latvia is not going as well as I would have expected, as we now take a tighter line. Goodness me, I thought I'd lost it then. I genuinely thought I'd lost it then. I think I'm still on the edge of my seat here from the moment before, and I'm really pushing to stay within second place distance, but I don't think Ryan van der Moosdijk is going to let me get anywhere close enough to him, so I'll just try and go around the outside of this particular berm. Oh, and can you believe it? Another mistake. This is not what I expected from the man who is leading the World Championship. the world champion-elect with the red plate currently has been making absolutely terrible decisions and too many mistakes in this one as I completely mess it up once again with the very random whips in this game. For some strange reason, you can only move the analog stick even just a little bit, and for some reason the game will full force you to do a whip. And I don't know what it is in MXGP 2021, but the whips just don't seem to work very well. From a recent update it didn't seem too bad, but at the point of this recording it was a couple of weeks ago. So unfortunately, bad decision from me to try and move the analog stick, and for some reason the game was like, hey ho, let's do a whip. So unfortunately down here in very lowly position now, not where we would have wanted to be. Podium beckoned us in the first couple of parts of this race, and now completely the opposite. Very disappointing performance from the world champion-elect. But we mustn't be too down. We still have another race in a moment's time, so we just got to stay together, stay focused. We'll have 1.5 bits of a lap now, maybe not even that, at this particular point. And there is Diego Giertz, another championship protagonist in this particular battle. And I may have to change things up with the KTM. Probably could try reducing the acceleration in the sense of I've gone for the more aggressive style of acceleration instead of the more modular design. I've toyed around it with the brakes, but I did find the aggressive brakes were a little bit better, so I could change that for the next particular race, who knows. But we still have lots of races left to go this season. This is only round 7 of 12 Grand Prix, so we still have a chance to make sure that we don't make these mistakes again. But honestly for me, I do believe that we have the potential to win this World Championship. We are still leading the World Championship, but I got to say I've had a few difficult Grand Prix recently, and I don't think this one is going as well as I planned either. Race 2 is going to have to be a saving grace for us, otherwise the momentum could be going to the favour of Maxime Renaux, who's still dominating this race. I don't even think we can see it, just briefly actually in the graphic in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, but only very briefly. You just see him ahead of this on track right now. It's a bit of a jump here as Diego Giertz goes for that tighter line. I think I'll follow him in there actually. I'll see if I can pick up a bit of time here by going to the wider part of the track rather than jumping all over the jumps. And there you go, we have closed in a little bit. Potential 5th position is on the cards for us right now. As long as we don't make any more mistakes, a top 5 finish should suffice for me right now, as we now go in the left hand side, super tight to the berm there. But unfortunately we did make a mistake and go for that larger jump with the wider line upon the exit. It's quite difficult to adjust from the style of MotoGP, Ride 4, etc., and come to MXGP where everything's that much tighter, rather than letting the acceleration go out a little bit, maybe chucking it in wider for some corners, maybe braking a little bit too tight for some corners as well. You do feel like you have to try and manipulate your riding style every now and again. No excuse, of course, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This has just been a bad race for us, but still, I'm pretty happy with what we've done. Maxime Renaux will take the race 1 victory, so props to him. Could have been us, but unfortunately we made too many mistakes. And going to the left hand side, another obstacle has been avoided for the number 461, and a very disappointing Kegums for that man on your screens right now. But so far, not great. To the end of race 1, Maxime Renaux does take the perfect 25 points. Rohan van der Moosdijk in 2nd, with Tom Vial in 3rd, Jed Beat in 4th, Diego Giertz 5th, and Grant in 6th. But now we switch over to the helmet cam. But unfortunately, it is raining here in the MXGP of Latvia, so let's see what we can do going into the right-hand side. Do we get the inside line? Ruben Fernandez has gone down in the first corner. Maxime Renaux takes the Fox's hole shot. The Monster Energy Yamaha boys with a Fox's hole shot double. Diego Giertz in the first one, and there is Maxime Renaux in the second. But we do manage to position our KTM race store up into the top position just at the start of this race. So Grand Prix results so far could put us near enough to the podium, and I tell you what, I would take that in a heartbeat after a very difficult first race. Now going in for the tighter apex there, going for the very tighter defensive line. You can see the train behind us on the graphic in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, as I'm going to try and push all my weight to the back of the wheel to try and make this jump. Can't seem to get it right. I must confess I'm rather looking forward to the 450s, because I know I can get those jumps, and I know that's where I can save a lot of time. The 250s have been rather challenging, and come on! Really? Oh, come on! How did I avoid the obstacle? I'm pretty certain I wouldn't have gained any additional time there, but if the game says so, the game says so, and we're going to have to like it and lump it. So now, Maxime Renaux has been gifted the race lead, of course already leading the Grand Prix result in general with a perfect 25 points, but as you may notice, the rain has decided to cease, so now it's a chance for us to hopefully pick up some speed. We do better in the dry conditions here in MXGP 2021, quite the opposite from last year's game, of course. And with the helmet cam, it gives me the perception of going quicker. Not necessarily means I am quick, it just gives me the perception that I'm feeling it. So hopefully with that bit of extra confidence, the bit of extra speed, I feel we can chase down Bosram and hopefully get past him, to not only get past him for second, but hopefully chase down Maxime Renault. Of course, that man has been on a different level here in Kegums, and I don't know whether we can actually beat him as I'm getting a little bit too eager there on the acceleration as the bike went sideways, but we did get ahead of Matisse Bosram, and we're now up into second position. Pretty decent performance so far for the number 461, a much better performance than the first one. We had too many mistakes in race 1, but race 2 is looking to be a little bit better. It's not exactly perfect, because we did of course make the mistake with the obstacle being avoided, but we're in a good situation here. Way slower than Maxime Renault, 4 seconds slower than that man on your screens right now. He is a cheat code right now. He is absolutely killing it in the MXGP of Latvia, and I don't know whether we can actually pursue him, but if we can just stay in a second position, we certainly can't complain with that one. Not getting the jump exactly how I would have wanted to do it right there, and I'm hoping on the right hand side I don't make the same mistake we did in race 1. So far, so good. But we now go on the right hand side, going to get into the sort of more difficult part of the track now. You can make a few more mistakes from this point onwards, of course, not trying to do any crazy whips like we did earlier on when the game decided to go full whip. We're going to try and avoid any like that, and I've gone a little bit wide here. Oh my goodness, it's very rare I've done that, but unfortunately that mistake has happened, and look how much further behind we are now. A second place in MXGP 2021 can be disappeared in a second if you make one little mistake, and that was a mistake enough to let all those other riders pass. But we are going to try and go around the outside of Tom Vial, which I think we managed to get to work. It looks just, oh no, never mind. Tom Vial right up the back of the inside, so I'm going to try and fight back, but unfortunately the positioning of that KTM was absolutely fantastic. There was no way I could get away and ahead of Thomas Vial right now. But we'll go in the right hand side and hopefully we can take advantage of Jed Beaton. The number 14 is holding on to 5th position. It's the position I kind of want right now, so I'm going to try and go up the inside. That was a little bit too early, bumping the rear tyre of Jed Beaton. Now we're going to go across his head and going to oh my goodness, this is not going the way I envisioned when I tried to make those moves on him. Jed Beaton is just not allowing me to get through. No riders do. Can we get up the inside this time? No, we still can't get it done. Can we go up in the left hand side this time? No, still nothing yet. Vial, Sander, Jed Beaton and Grant having a ding-dong of a battle for this 4th position. In fact, it's be a 3rd position if we can get ahead of Thomas Vial. But Thomas Vial, the cream is rising to the top. He's there again, getting further and further ahead of us. We need to fight back now rather than letting it go too late. In this part, I lose too much time. I'm losing too much time. Can I get the big jump here, the big leap? Can we get it done? Not bad. We got a bit of a dodgy wheelie on the acceleration there, but look at Matisse Bosram. He has fallen by the wayside as well. He was up there in 2nd place quite comfortably. And now we have a battle not only for 3rd place, but a potential 2nd, so we must try and stay with them, but I am losing so much time. I do find that the bike is slow in the acceleration, whether it's because I picked one of these slower motorcycles and one of the sort of satellite teams, I'm not entirely sure. But I just really can't seem to stick with them upon the straights. Maybe for the next season when we move up to MXGP, or maybe we stay for MX2, maybe one more year, probably not, depending if we win the World Championship. You better believe I'll be going straight up to the MXGP class. So I want to get my hands on them 450s, to be quite honest with you, because that's the best way to play. I really love the 450s, so we'll see what happens. But for now, we still have a battle here in the MXGP of Kegums. Now, 5th place would be our top finish for the 2 races we've had so far. At least a race and a half, because we still have probably a lap and a little bit. I think Maxime Renault will be very close to getting near the line. Not quite there yet, but he'll be very close. So we're expecting to be one more lap in just a moment's time, but we'll try and make the move ahead of Sander. Oh, getting stuck on his bike and getting... Whoa! Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. The bike was everywhere but where I wanted it to be then. Bloody hell. That KTM was just everywhere. Honestly. We were holding on for dear life. How did we stay on that motorcycle? I have no idea whatsoever. But shout out to KTM for making a solid motorcycle you can still stay on board with, I guess. So now, final lap is beginning. So we'll go onto the right-hand side. And there is... Oh, Sander's gone down as well. Goodness me, I was going to try and go around the outside of the man ahead of us, but never mind. We're up into 4th position. So the podium does not beckon us. We can't get the podium now. It's pretty much impossible. Unless Matisse Bosram slows down to a snail's pace, I don't think it's going to happen. But oh my lord! We are just losing this bike every other corner. The KTM does not... I cannot believe it's... I even slowed down for that corner then. I slowed down for it thinking, okay, I've gone a little bit wide here. Let me get back onto the track. Bang! Obstacle avoided. That is bloody annoying. Call this video just obstacle avoided. Too many times in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Way too many times. So our 5th place is back on the cards again. Unfortunately not going to be the podium I mentioned earlier, or the 4th position. So, but then again, 4th position could still be on the card here with Jed Beaton not too far ahead of us. I guess we're going to see what we can do. We'll go into the left-hand side here, keep it nice and tight. Jed's gone for the wider line, but unfortunately I also kind of followed him into that jump there. If I went for the tighter apex, things would have been a little bit different, I do believe. Now, just looking at the lap times as well, 147 for Maxime Renault. I think that is completely heads and shoulders above the rest of us. I don't think anyone's going to get close to that one. Oh my goodness, another mistake in this one. Get me out of the MXGP of Latvia, please. This has gone heck to a handbasket so bloody quickly. I cannot believe what is going on here. Left, right and centre, the bike is just completely unstable. It's not good. I don't know what's happened in this last part of the race here, but the bike has gone terrible. It's just... every other corner's just dropping to bits. It's just falling all over the place. Get me out of this race. Maxime Renault wins it. We're still not going to get over the line in comfortable position. Oh my goodness. Rowan van der Moosdijk just went down and we barely finish for 6th position. Pretty bad result, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty bad result indeed. Renault takes the victory, as you know. Vial in 2nd and Matisse Bosram takes 3rd position. Grant in 6th place once again. So Renault does take the Grand Prix victory on Grand Prix 7 of the MXGP of Latvia here in this championship, and he takes the perfect 50 points. Tom Vial in 2nd place with 42. Rowan van der Moosdijk just holds on for 3rd place with 38 points. And of course Matt Grant with the back-to-back 6 positions puts him 6th place overall for the Grand Prix of Kegums. Pretty bad stuff. One to forget for the fans, and one to forget for DrAce himself. The Grand Prix results of Kegums have made this championship rather interesting now. Renault only trails by 25 points. Tom Vial trails by 56, and of course 60 points to Ruben Fernandez, with Diego Giert, Jed Beaton all locked on points as well. So this championship is far from over, and I tell you what, I think it's only going to get even more entertaining. So definitely guys, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing, and also leave a comment down below for your favourite part of this race. But upon that note guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.